ASBAS program, which is the Australian Small Business Advisory Services, is they allowed me, foolishly, to expand on my team. So I've just brought on board 9 ASBAS advisors, all in the area of everything marketing. So from website developers through to SEO specialists, branding agents, copywriters, content writers, security, CRM, email marketing automation. And the reason why I did that is that with the ASBAS program, it's primarily designed to support small businesses, anybody who's ABN registered with under 20 employees, to essentially receive guidance, support, and advice on everything marketing. And because it's federally funded, thank goodness the government's paying us back something for all our hard-earned taxes. It means then for the recipient that they pay no more than $20 to $40 an hour, and the rest of it is all paid for by the government. And I'm a big fan because at the moment it's worth approximately $2.8 million to us here in Queensland out of $17.8 million that's been given around the country, and it's only available until June 2021. So I'm a big fan of, you know what, if that money's sitting on the table, we need to have a piece of it right here in good old SEQ. So I hope you don't mind, but I have brought some more information about it. However, for me, the reason why I jumped on board the ASBAS program is because I am quite the passionate advocate for small business entrepreneurship. If there's one thing I love seeing, it's a battling business make it big. And having been a battling business myself over the last 25 years, where I've made money, I've lost money, I've bought businesses, I've started businesses from scratch, I've had to close down businesses. Fortunately, touch wood, I've not had to close because I've been liquidated or bankrupt, thank goodness, something I don't really want to experience. So if you think about, I guess I've done everything you possibly can do to a business. I've turned it into multi-sited and then sold it. I've set up a website company. One of the biggest losses I had was a Christian t-shirt business. I thought that was a winner. I thought God was on my side. But no, alas, we lost a fair chunk on that one. I've manufactured ladies' handbags, bespoke handbags made from South American skin. That was fantastic. Made me no money, but boy, did we have some sexy looking handbags. So I've really gone out there with an absolute enthused passion. If somebody was to ask me about shares and stocks, I've got no idea. If somebody was to ask me about property, don't bother, I have no idea. If somebody was to talk to me about business, I'm like, let's pull up a chair, let's have a drink and let's go for it. You've got my attention. So one of the big aspects for me around business is always this thing called marketing. And what I find really interesting over the years with the businesses I've spoken to, and that is marketing is really this big black hole, right? And I'm seeing a lot of nods with me on this point. And it's very interesting because it is very much like this. It seems to suck in a truckload of money that you don't really have and you can't really afford. And then if you're lucky, you might get something blowing out the end of it, in the middle of it, if you're lucky. And in most cases, what the biggest challenge is for a lot of businesses is trying to understand this thing called marketing. Because unfortunately, unlike operations and unlike accounting, for a lot of businesses, the assumption is there is no formula. It's that looks good, that looks even better, but don't go over there because I went there last time and it didn't work. Well, I guess I'm probably here to explain that there is a formula. There is actually a marketing blueprint out there, and if you like, Bev, I can give you a copy of my PowerPoint presentation. Happy to do so. And essentially, marketing is made up of 4 key components. It's made up of your lead generation, which are these top 4 aspects here. Most of us generate leads in a number of ways. Mostly it's through word of mouth. You hear everyone say, oh, well, I get it through word of mouth. Another one is through social media, so that thing called Facebook or Face Plant, I had somebody say to me the other day, Snapchat, Instagram and LinkedIn. The third way that we can receive leads, and look, it still exists today, and that's offline media. I'm amazed at how many businesses and even marketers say to me, offline media doesn't work. Newspapers don't work. Actually, they do work. They've just changed the platform that newspapers work on, right? They're now online. You can still advertise through a newspaper, and if you're regionally based, that's the best way to be marketing to your audience. And then the fourth way is through aspects like this, public media strategies, where I have you trapped by the way I've told the staff, we're locking the doors, you're not escaping. I've got you for the next couple of hours, you're mine. But public media strategies allow you the opportunity to share what you're passionate about, to share what you're excited about. And these are really the four main ways that you generate leads. Inside each of these components are different strategies that may or may not work for you. For some of you in this room, social media won't work. Facebook won't work for you. But for some of you in the room, a LinkedIn strategy could be the way you go. For some of you in the room, where standing up and talking to people could be the worst thing for you, it's probably something I wouldn't recommend. But however, would I recommend that you get out and network a little bit more, but network with the right kind of people? Absolutely. Then part of that is all to do with your website as well. Unfortunately, we live in a digital world. And living in a digital world means that we've created a population of voyeurism, where people can see you, but you don't know they're looking at you, right? I can see you. I'm behind a shadow. I'm behind a curtain. Can see you. And here's where you need to have that digital presence. It's not necessarily because, you're trying to buy in leads and you're trying to get the leads in, but more importantly, having a digital presence allows your brand to be enhanced. It allows an opportunity for people to check you out. So when you are looking at your lead generation strategies, you want to be looking at all of these aspects here. Do I say the same message about me? Is what I'm saying on my website the same as what I'm saying offline? Is what I'm saying offline the same as what I'm saying social media? Does my LinkedIn profile match who I am, what I am, and why I am? Or am I sending out these different messages to people and they're getting confused about who I am? So your lead generation is more about really ensuring you're consistent in your message. Number 2, nurture journey. What's really interesting in today's market space is that we really don't know who is hot for us and who's not for us. And I'm always amused when I get customers or clients say to me, Andrea, I got 5 leads this month. Woohoo! And I'm like, great. How many of them got converted to customers? Get excited by leads, but absolutely jump for joy when you get a client. And the nurture journey now allows us the opportunity to share with our potential leads for them to actually self-select. They can self-select whether they're hot or not for you. Because here's the key. Would you rather spend time with people who genuinely want you, or would you rather spend time with tie kickers? Right? And the reality is, unfortunately, we don't know when somebody fills in an inquiry form, or they send you an email, or they download a lead magnet from your website. You don't know whether they're actually a real customer or not. They could be researching. And if you're in real estate, it takes up to 18 months to get a sale over the line, right? If you're in IT, in some cases, it could be 3 months. It could be 6 months. It could be instantaneous. You don't know. So what we actually talk about in marketing is creating that nurture journey where they can then decide for themselves through a prospect experience whether they're ready for you or not. And I'm always a big fan of everybody is a lead until I can convert them to a client. Everybody gets treated like a lead. I'll keep loving on them. I'll keep sharing the information. I'll keep providing the answers. Automated, right? automated so that when they're ready to make that decision, I'm at the forefront of their mind. And what's really fascinating is that the fourth part of this is your sales conversion. And what I find quite distressing out there in the environment today is that there's really only one conversion people talk about, and that's the conversion from a hot lead to a customer. Yet, marketing is actually about constant conversion. It's about converting this no lead here, this person who's cold for you right now, and converting them into a suspect. Converting them into a warm lead, then converting that warm lead, getting a little bit closer to you, getting a little bit more warmer towards you, thinking I'm really liking you. Yeah, I like those curtains. I was coming that way. So finally, you've got them a customer. But here's where I'm going to encourage you to go one step further. And that is, imagine if you could convert 60% of your customers into an absolute raving lunatic for your business. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Where suddenly you've got a sales team who's hot and heavy for you, who's raving about how incredible you are, who's going out there telling their clients, their friends, their family about you, going, oh my God, you need to go see Vivian. You really do need to pick up the phone and don't bother going to see anybody else to help you out. Go and see her. Imagine the power of having third-party recommendations. So my encouragement to you today, ladies and gentlemen, is to resonate on the formula that is the marketing blueprint. So I'm just going to break this down into a little bit more for you. Under the lead generation, as I mentioned, there are 4 main types of lead generation strategies. All of these are relevant in today's market space. Which is going to be relevant for you? And every single one of you has a unique business. And what makes that business unique is not the widgets you sell. What makes the business unique is the way that you sell them. Right? That's the key. I'm amazed at how many people say, oh, but we do it differently. No, honey, you do it pretty much like everyone else. What makes it different is you. That's what makes your business unique, is how you sell your product, how you present yourself in the market space. For marketers, we're everywhere. We're like accountants and lawyers, real estate agents and second-hand car salesmen. Boy, have we got a deal for you. And we're everywhere. We're on every street corner. Watch out for us. What makes us all unique is not the fact that we've got a brand new widget and we've got this new sexy software. What makes us unique is whether we're relevant enough and can create and provide the right solution for you. And something I really encourage you in your businesses to actually start bringing forward about yourselves is that you're not just problem solvers, you're actually solution providers. Right? What you're selling is a solution. Why? Because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for, when we go into Google, what are we doing? We're searching. What are we searching? Because we've got a problem. We're looking for a solution. So rather than being solving problems, be a solution provider. It's a very subtle shift on words, but words are powerful, as we know. They do contain energy. So if you see yourself as, we sell solutions, whatever that solution may be, but be a solution provider. You'll find that people will actually be more attracted to you because they're looking for the solution. Okay? When you're looking at building out your websites, this is real important, and I spend a lot of my time with businesses reevaluating the way that they present themselves online. Am I a website developer? No. I'm actually a copywriter, content writer. I love words. Words are important. We don't share enough valuable words in the marketplace. So I'm always a big fan and looking at and critiquing somebody's website and going, okay, visually, is your website going to appeal to your customer? Is it actually going to show them that you provide valuable, valid, reliable solutions? Got to understand, people don't necessarily care about you. They care about what you can give them. Okay? It's always that with them, what's in it for me. So I'm a big fan and always looking at somebody's website and actually understanding, is your website speaking to your audience visually? Because remember, before we read, what do? we just view things. We're very visual. So if the colour feels wrong, if the picture feels wrong, you can see it. They're going, there's something that's not right about this thing. You could be saying all the right words, but if the visuals and the photos just don't work. I've got a client at the moment. It's quite funny. They're a tech company. They've been going for about 20 odd years. Fantastic software they've got. Great company. And they're just building a new website for their new product. And I said, let's have a look at your website. And I got on, they pulled it up and I just went, excuse my French, I said, fuck, this is shit. Didn't mean to come out, but it did. And they just went, we've paid a few $1,000s for that. And I said, well, I'd be asking for your money back because it just didn't gel. It didn't work. I said, if I was your client, I'm lost. I'm confused. And a confused client is a no client. All right? So be really aware of your website. You know, it is your online presence. It's there to build your credibility and reputation. It's there to create trust. It's there to support any of your other marketing tools as well. Bear in mind that every website should have a lead capturing opportunity on it, not just a contact us form, but for those of you who are very well knowledged in your area of expertise, have a lead magnet. So give away something. You know, what you said this morning, I mean, did you see what happened when you said .au? Everyone goes, I'm sitting down the end going, well, I've got a lot of URLs. I've got 4 websites, and I'm thinking, I don't know about this .au stuff. You know, imagine if you put out a lead magnet that talked about that coming through, and you sent it out through your database of potential leads. The amount of response, you got an immediate response from us. So sending out information, sharing your knowledge is a great way for you to capture leads. And the more leads you can capture, then the higher your profitability is going to be at the end of the day, because why? Your conversions go up. With the nurture journey, it's really essential that you look at 3 elements of your nurture journey. And this is real important, especially if you're going to go into automating your marketing and automating your communication. 3 key aspects you should have that should work harmoniously together. Number 1, have a CRM system that actually captures all of those lead contacts. Now, if you are the kind of person or the business that receives, you know, telephone customers or telephone clients, or like people who get sales over the phone, I recommend that you actually put them through your CRM system as well. It's real important because why? Your CRM system or your customer relationship management software allows you to not only host your customers, but also your potential leads. Inside your CRM, you have the ability to set up a sales funnel. Your sales funnel starting with new, open, prospect, suspect, you know, had a first meeting booked, proposal sent, decision maker included, won or lost, right? So you can create that sales funnel that then allows you to be able to manage quite nicely how your leads are progressing in that conversion funnel. All right, it's a real great way too for you to segment down your database, and segmentation of your database is essential. Why? Because it gives you clarity around really who you are actually servicing, not who you think you're servicing. Real story, I was working with my accountant. She's now my accountant. She had a database of approximately 1,800. She said, can you do forensic marketing over it? I said, yes, I can. She was looking to launch she wanted to launch a marketing campaign that allowed her to potentially promote to employees. So I sat down, analysed the database right down, realised that when we broke it down by service, 61% of her database was just employees. So the end of year tax was all she was doing for them. What was really interesting was that she had 15% of the database that were companies, where she did the company tax, the personal tax, the self-managed super fund, the trusts, and everything else that went with it. And when she saw it, immediately she goes, oh, 61%, that's where I should be going. And I said, what's your average sale over here? What's the value of the sale with an employee? She goes, oh, it's about $150. I said, what's the potential value over here for one person where you're giving them everything? She said, this one over here, they're worth on average about $3,500 a year. So I said, do the numbers. I said, you're an accountant. 150, how many hours over here does this take you? Takes our guys at least 3 hours. How many hours over here for 3,500? She said, probably takes us about 24 hours. Which one's got better return? She goes, yeah. I said, you should be targeting this lot, not that lot. Yes, there is a bigger proportion of them, but you've got to make more money. You've got to do more to make the same amount of money is potentially what you're going to do here. And that's where your CRM system allows you to be able to analyze that down. The second part of that software is your email marketing automation. This is where you can be communicating to your audience automatically. This is where you can set up follow-up, follow-through campaigns. I've got a client who's a skincare company based here in Brisbane. What we've set up for her is it's a 90-day automated campaign that goes to every customer, and it's when they purchase if they purchase a skincare of hers, which I've got. Where is it? Oh, it's in the other bag. Every time they go to purchase that, it automatically clicks in this campaign, and it just sends out these reminders. On a 15-day, on a 30-day, on a 60-day, on a 75-day, you're about ready to run out of your cream. On a 90-day, here's a 20% discount if you buy now. And on a 100-day, you've definitely run out by this stage. And what we've done is by automating this campaign, it means that she's automatically communicating to her audience, and it's not a sale. It's, hey, you might be interested in some of our ingredients that we use. Here's a little bit of an article about jojoba oil and its benefits to your skin. But what it is a touch point. Every time they just get a touch point naturally, and it just happens every time. So do be looking at where can you automate some of your communication as part of your post follow-up, follow-through process. The third and final, who here works off appointments? Appointments? Great. Do you use a booking link for your appointments? Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. So one of the things I would recommend is, so I do a lot of appointments, and if it's one thing I really hate, it's that whole backwards and forwards. I'm available here, I'm available there. No, I'm not available. Yeah, no. And I'm like, I don't have time to do this. So now what I do is I have an automated booking link. And I just send out my booking link and I go, here's my booking link. Go check in your calendar, check when you're available, and just book in mine. Now I use 3 different booking calendars, links. But what I find with them is that you can ask what I love about it is that you can ask additional questions to find out a little bit more about the appointment. And all of that is done automatically. So I just go into my diary and I go, right, who am I? Oh, yeah, crap, that's right, I've got those appointments. Who am I seeing again? Oh, yeah, okay. Got it. Fantastic. And it's all been done automatically. So do look at booking links as a way to streamline your appointments when you're meeting with your people. Prospect experience is always a fun one for me. And you may have heard people talk about the 4 to 7. It takes 4 to 7 touch points to convert. In actual fact, in the customer relationship model, there's up to 12. Once again, because you don't know, depending on the industry you're in, like I said, for real estate, it could be anything up to an 18 months lead-in time. For banks, for mortgages, pretty much the same. So this is just an example of some of the things that actually happens inside a customer relationship model. So, for example, they always start off as a suspect. Everybody is a suspect. They're suspicious about your business. They're not too sure. They're just going to check you out. remember you're probably one of maybe a half a dozen that they've spoken to or they're speaking to right now. All right, so you might be number 3 in the line of choices. So the aim of the game here is always to ensure that when you're setting up your touch points, that your information is relevant. And it's really funny because if you have a look there, by contact 4, 89% of salespeople have given up. It's, oh, you're too hard. You're a tire kicker. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Right? The actual fact is, no, you're not a tire kicker. You could be the kind of person that actually just wants to research a little bit more. I can be either your best customer or I can be your worst customer, depending upon the urgency that I need my problem solved. Does that make sense? Right? You don't know how urgent my problem is, only I do. Right? So you've got to be aware of the fact that as much as you can try and, come on, come over the line, come with me, you're not ready. Right? And so what people do, they go, oh, too hard. Right, yes, you, come with me. Right? Have you experienced that? You've experienced that yourself. So the aim of the game here, and it is a game, it's a fun game, and that is to look for ways to automate those connections. Who here does newsletters? Great, fantastic. My encouragement with newsletters, where possible, put in 3 to 4 different things. Right? 3 to 4 different things inside your newsletter. Why? Because you don't know which of those things is going to appeal to your person, to your reader. With those 3 to 4 different things, give them an opportunity to click on something and go somewhere. So let's say, for example, you're going to put an article inside your newsletter, and the article might come from a third-party platform. Here's my recommendation to you. Copy paste that article, put it on your website as a blog. Refer that it came from XYZ platform. Put it on your website as an article or a blog, and then inside your newsletter, where do you send the link to? Your website, right? Take them to your website. Why your website? It's your platform. They get to your website, they see it, they go, wow, this is really interesting. Inside that article, you may have linked a couple of other things to your website. So now they click on it, it keeps them on the website. Make sense? So that's one link. A second link you might do is that if you are, for example, you're running an event, put a link inside your newsletter that takes them to your event. Number 3, if you're running a social media platform like Facebook, let's say you've got something funny, you've got a funny post on your Facebook that you think's really hysterical. Not everybody's on Facebook, right? Not everyone's going to see your post. Link number 3, put it inside your newsletter. Go, you might find this humour of the month or humour of the week. Guess where the link goes to? Your Facebook page, right? If people are going to come to any one of your platforms, the aim of the game, keep them on your platform. Keep them inside your ecosystem. Give them an opportunity to come and check you out even more. If you're on LinkedIn, same thing. If you've posted an article on LinkedIn or you've seen an article on LinkedIn that you like, you go, wow, this is really powerful. Here's what you do. Share it to your own LinkedIn profile. Then you put the article link inside your newsletter. Ping! Where does it go? Your LinkedIn. Right? If somebody's going to pick up something that's on your platform, keep them on your platform. It's a great way for people to get to know you. Yep, cool, perfect. Finally, your sales conversion. You'll find inside your database that a lot of you here are sitting on what we call as a dead database. A dead database of people who have connected with you at some point in the distance, in the past. Oh, I'm getting big nods over here. And they've just gone into the abyss. So the encouragement here when you're looking at your sales conversions, as I said before, there's 4 kinds of sales conversions. Number 1 is that cold lead. You want to move them, right? You want to move them from being that cold lead to actually starting to engage with you. You need to find ways to engage with your audience. They will choose when they're ready to buy from you. unfortunately. But you've got to give them the opportunities to get to know you. It's really interesting. There is a new currency that's actually an old currency. It's just done differently, and it's called relationship. I know, right? Like, wow. Everyone's going, it's the new currency. I'm like, no, dude, that's just an old currency and pretty wrapping. Okay. Likewise with your warm leads, you've got to look to ways to convert them, to bring you a little bit closer to you. And then finally bringing it down into the customer becoming a referrer for you. Absolutely imperative. And there are a number of different fantastic strategies around referrals that you can put in place. Do know that there are two kinds of referrals, right? There's the strategic partners. I'm very fortunate. I'm in a strategic partnership with Regional Development Australia, Brisbane, which is allowing me to bring the ASBAS program to Queensland. I'm also in a strategic partnership with my ASBAS advisors, all who are business owners in their own right and marketers in their own right. And then, of course, number two is your customer referrals. These are the people who have purchased from you before. They love you. They think you're just the bee's knees, the best thing since sliced bread. Those are the people that you want to start referring for you. They're the people that you would love to get a testimonial from. And by the way, don't be afraid to ask your clients for testimonials. Don't be afraid to ask them, to refer and to recommend people. There are some subtle ways that you can go about doing that. One of the ways I ask is, look, I hope you don't mind me asking you this. I've got a big favour. Sure, Andrea, what is it? I'm looking to want to expand out on helping other people who are in a similar situation to yourself. Just wondering if by chance you know anybody that could utilise my services and assistance. If you do, is there the chance that you mind passing on my card? Most people are like, yeah, no worries, I can do that for you. I'm like, booyah, right? You'll find your way to be able to communicate effectively with your audience. So, team, the marketing blueprint. It is this simple. Made difficult by marketers, all right? But it is this simple. It is a matter of finding out where is the best lane for you to swim, to discern the right strategies that aligns with you, the way that you want to operate. Not everybody is this comfortable doing this at 7 o'clock in the morning with no alcohol, right? But for me, this is the easiest way for me to be. And so you've got to find the lane that works for you. You've got to find the strategies that work for you. And I do get quite annoyed at my fellow marketers when I see businesses doing things and I go, that is so not you. That is like what the hell are you doing? And they go, I know. It just doesn't feel like me. And I'm like, that so doesn't feel like you. I've got a client at the moment that we're resuscitating. And we are resuscitating. He's this big bloke. He's about 6'6". His wife's about 4.5, and they've bought this new machine that actually is for plumbers to get down drains. Don't ask me what it is, but anyway, he's up here, and he's your typical Aussie bloke, right? Loves rugby, loves beer, right, and loves horses. Gentle beer. Anyway, I'm looking at their website and this photo pops up of her husband in a suit. I just went, that's wrong. And then I met him and he's in his gears, right? Because he's a plumber. I was in my gears and I just went, this is it. Like, do this. This is marketable. Like, you are marketable. This, oh my gosh, it bugs me to death. Like, it rips my undies when I see it. Like, it's just like, are you shitting me? And so I just said to him, okay, right, we're just gonna resuscitate your marketing here. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna market your husband because your husband is marketable. Like, forget the product. This is marketable. And fortunately, under the ASBAS program, we can do it. Under the ASBAS program, we can help them implement these changes. They take advantage of it at $40 an hour. My team gets in around them, and we show them, we teach them how to do this. So they've gone and paid. I think the quote they had for the website was $6,500. I went, you're shitting me, you're shitting me. And I said, how much have you paid so far? And they went $2,000. I said, yeah, I wouldn't be paying a cent. I would not be paying a further cent. I said, with your website, we can resuscitate it. I've got one of my ASBAS advisors at the moment who's doing an audit to see what we can do around it. And that's why I love what I do, because the ASBAS program does allow us to be able to come around businesses like that and assist them in resuscitating it. I mean, here's a family who spent close to $250,000 on this fabulous new equipment, and they can't freaking use it because it's not being marketed right. So this is me. I do have pamphlets. I am running I'm calling it a one-on-one session smash-a-thon on the 1st of August, actually. Myself and two of my ASBAS colleagues, we're going to be in the city. We're there all day from 10 a.m. to 8:30. I think I'll be drinking wine by the end of the day. But look, please, if you want to come and speak with me and my cohorts, I'm all about the strategy and getting it right and keep it simple, silly. My other colleagues are all around software, business software integration, and around your websites and the like as well. The other thing you can do is you can take advantage of booking a one-on-one session with me. They're normally about 60 minutes, and I normally do them by Zoom. Then that way I can record the session and bring you back, give you a copy of it. But Bev, I do have a special, I do have a giveaway, and we need to just give away a one-on-one session. So I don't know how you're going to do that, but we'll give one away somehow. Also, do feel free to check out RDA Brisbane's website, because they've got some workshops, and I do have some workshops coming up this way as well. But yes, thank you.